This week, racial tensions in inner-city London reached fever pitch when an altercation between a shopkeeper and a customer in London's Peckham went viral on social media. A would-be customer attacked a shopkeeper after a dispute believed to be over some hair products, and the shopkeeper defended himself by briefly holding the woman in a chokehold. Black Lives Matter-style protests erupted on Peckham's Rye Lane outside the shop afterwards, and anti-racist commentators and organisations like the Runnymede Trust were saying that this was an example that Britain is institutionally racist. London Mayor Sadiq Khan even chimed in to say that he knew Londoners were concerned about the incident. Now, I'm concerned about the incident, but I'm not sure what an altercation between a shopkeeper and a customer has to do with racism. In my opinion, the woman behaved absolutely appallingly. Who settles any disagreement by starting a fight with someone? The man, the shopkeeper, the Asian shopkeeper, defended himself, quite rightly, in my opinion, but he was very heavy-handed in his response. He should not have held the woman in a chokehold, although it was very brief. I'm really quite disturbed by this trend which has emerged, where black people defend appalling behaviour by crying racism like the boy who cried wolf. Are they seriously saying that because we're black, if we attack someone, they can't defend themselves, otherwise we're going to call them racist? That's totally absurd, and there's absolutely no way for a functioning society to work. My grandfather turned 91 this week. When he moved to this country, black people were not presenting television shows, they weren't in Parliament, and they were denied homes and jobs just because of their race. Now, this country has made a lot of progress. It's no longer like that in Britain today. And the simple fact of the matter is there are still racists in Britain today, unfortunately, but none of them were involved in the incident in Peckham earlier this week. So, Leo Kearse, have I got this totally wrong?
Yes.
Why?
So, I don't know if you saw the signs that were being stuck to the shop after the incident, but if a white person had stuck those signs about an Asian shopkeeper, they would be condemned as some sort of 70s National Front throwback. And I don't think that people should be excused from racism just because they themselves are an ethnic minority.
But was this a racist incident, in your opinion?
The incident itself wasn't racist. I mean, there may be underlying tensions between communities. We've seen in other parts of England, Leicester, for example, we've seen ethnic rivalries flare up. This particular thing looked like a straightforward case of shoplifting, although, you know, the woman might have needed those wigs to feed her children.
Benjamin Butterworth, do you think that the shopkeeper would have treated the customer the same way if the customer was a white male, for example?
I was just going to say, I don't think the woman was shoplifting. It was a dispute over the returned item for a hair product that they wouldn't accept. But the truth is that while clearly what that video appears to show is appalling behaviour on both parts of those two people, I would really question whether that Asian shopkeeper, had it been a white man who had behaved in that unacceptable way, would he have choked them? And I really don't think he would have done that. And I think the fact that it was a black woman is a part of why he felt able to put his hands on her and to behave with that level of violence.
Emily, was it that if it was a white man or indeed a black man, he would be worried about being punched in the face back?
Well, you know what? I think that we can't say. We don't know. We don't know what the particular dynamics would have been if someone was of a different colour on both sides of this. And what I hate is how people jump to so many conclusions as soon as they see a viral social media post. As soon as they see a clip, they say, oh, well, if this person was white, or if this person was black, or if this person was Asian, and they try to think of an alternative scenario, when actually we have no idea what the case would have been. We have no idea if there were underlying racial tensions in this shop. We don't know if the shopkeeper is racist. He could be. We don't know if the black woman is racist towards Asians. What we do know, judging by what we've seen since in terms of the protests, in terms of the signs that have been stuck on this man's shop, is that there is clearly some inter-community tensions, and there is a racial element to that because some of those signs are pretty atrocious.
I mean, what I was just going to say, I suspect if anybody recognises what racism looks like, it's an Asian shopkeeper, right? You know, they are often at the forefront. Sorry?
Especially when he's doing it.
Well, I'm not. I just think that he would be au fait to racism as she would be, and so I think they're two people that ought to be more sensitive to these issues.
Darren Grimes, I know you're quite passionate about Britain's communities and immigration. Is this proof that multiculturalism doesn't work?
Well, I think the protests that we saw outside of that shop, where people were blaming it on whiteness or white people, how the hell can you blame white people when there was no white person involved? It just shows that these activists often speak of a psychosis. They're the bloody psychos, if you ask me. And I think ultimately this says that we do have a problem in this country. We have a problem with crime spiralling out of control. And I'm afraid to say, Albie, that the crime seems to be coming from certain communities in parts of London, and to speak about that, to say that, you're accused of racism and dog whistle racism and all the rest of it, when actually it's just common facts. It's plain and simple fact. I saw one video of this woman stealing a wig where she rammed it down her trousers. I would have said to her, you can keep that wig, I won't be having that back after it's been down there.
That technically becomes a merkin.
Well, yeah, it does.
That was a
actually,
different
I suppose it does. A different
That was a
woman.
different. I think it was actually in the States, that video. But Benjamin Butterworth, is there a problem with left-wing anti-racist activists calling things racist when they're just not racist?
Well, I mean, look, this wasn't fuelled by white left-wing anti-racist people, which is, I suspect, is what you're getting.
No, I'm talking about black left-wing
This was the black community in that Peckham area, in that part of South London, right? So that suggests that they feel that at a very real level. And what is definitely the case is that I think black women, more so than many other descriptions of minorities, face a level of abuse, of people feeling like they can take advantage or judging them or putting their hands on them. And I think this became a boiling point for a general reception that those people in that community have faced.
Well, she didn't feel any sign of oppression or anything when she was nicking goods from a shop, did she?
I think we can all agree that some people love an excuse to get out on the streets and protest, even when they don't know the details of what actually happens. Anyway, still to come, tonight Benjamin cheerfully decides to launch intergenerational warfare, and Leo says the planned ban on American Bully XLs is racism against dogs. Don't tell us we don't have something for everyone. But next, it's the Carver Palaver, and I'll be in full agreement with a union leader. You don't hear that much. You're with the Saturday 5 live on GB News.